because sometimes it takes forever to get the notifications. It said an error occurred.
Oh, it shows on my side that we're live. Let me go to.
Okay, there it went. It went live.
Okay.
Well, it's not showing that YouTube is live. Did you just?
That takes a second. And it's showing now. I'm just skipping the ads. Okay, now we're live on the other channel.
Okay.
Or on your channel. I wonder if it's because also you're doing both of them, aren't you?
Yeah, Facebook and YouTube are live right now. Okay. We've been live for 40 some seconds, it says. We're always fumbly at the beginning. Everybody will just have their excuses.
Who cares? People are just starting to roll in, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing anybody actually.
YouTube takes a while. Jared's here. Hi, Jared. How are you?
Hi, Jared.
It's not showing up there, but he said hello in the comments.
Yeah, I see it.
Yep. Jared, if you would do us a favor and share. No, he's on YouTube, so he can't. I wasn't there. Now mine automatically says 7 people are on. So if you're watching and you could say Lavender Rivers just said hi.
Hi, honey.
If everybody could say hi so we can see who's here, that would be awesome. It was like it went from 0 to 7, just like that. So
yeah.
She said just got here. Her and Jared are both from YouTube. They're both on from YouTube, I mean. I'm doing great, and hey, I can share this, no problem. Oh, well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So
I've got that deck, actually, that Halloween deck.
It is
great.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty. The winter card.
Yeah.
And then this is the night song. I mean, they're just pretty. They're different. Hi, Courtney. How are you? So,
how you feeling, sweetie?
Today's video was supposed to be on cultural appropriation. Hi, Johnny. How are you?
Hi, Johnny.
Which is a super important topic, especially for Rachele. She's been waiting a while to do this. Thank you, Jared. However, our witchy roundtable is not such a roundtable today because there's just 2 of us. So sometimes things happen, and we're going to just Hiking Hippie said, hello, ladies. I'm in the Seattle area. Well, hello, Hiking Hippie.
Hi,
I'm in Indiana. And
I'm
Rachele. Yeah. So there's that. So we want to make an announcement. Go ahead, Rachele.
I just want to say one thing really quick. You know, as far as why we're having issues maybe today, because we had, 6, 7 people that were supposed to be here today.
Yes.
I just want to put something into perspective. Mercury's in retrograde. Jupiter's in retrograde. Saturn is in retrograde. Neptune is in retrograde. And Pluto is in retrograde right now.
Yeah.
We've got 5 retrogrades going on.
Yes. And that can make a mess of things. I mean, we're all very familiar with Mercury retrograde, I think. If you're not, that's your communication and electronical devices. Rachele, fill us in on some of these other. Hi, Anna. How are you? Some of these other planets that are in retrograde and what they deal with, because being 5 in retrograde currently is making everything a mess.
So Mercury, yes, it impacts technology, travel, and communication. Jupiter, which is in retrograde until September 13th, impacts the military, sports, and heavy industry. Saturn, which is in retrograde until September 29th, it affects elderly people, the disadvantaged, employment, and natural resources. Hello, look at what is going on right now. Okay?
I know.
Then we've got, and if people think that astrology is not real, right there's your wake up call, right?
Yeah, astrology definitely is some shit. You want to know some shit? Study astrology, excuse my language.
So true. Give it at least 20 minutes before you come out with the cussing on you.
Sorry.
Neptune it affects water, aquatic creatures, chemicals, spiritual forces, and psychic phenomenon, right? And we've got this awakening happening right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also a spiritual warfare. So also Neptune. Pluto affects ecology, espionage, birth and death rates, nuclear power, and mysteries.
Real quickly, Lavender River said she has a job interview, so wish her luck. Well, good luck to you.
Good luck.
We definitely are sending you all the energy we can so you get the job you want. Hiking Hippie said, I love you. I love both of you ladies and love to. It went up. So hold on. I was reading it. Can you read it? Go ahead. I couldn't see it.
We usually do the roundtables on Thursdays. I'd like to start for attending. Is that
Hiking Hippie? If you want to actually be on a live with us, definitely inbox us, because we were going to announce that today. We are looking for people who want to join the roundtable so that they can have their voice in there and whatnot.
Plus, we've just got some more news too. I was just talking with Jessica about this earlier. I got an email, I think like a week ago, from StreamYard. It's no longer 6. It is now 10. 10 channels all at once. Talk about a major roundtable. It's like Knights of the Round Table or something.
Yeah. So yeah, now we can get 10. That's awesome. Anna Hensley said that she can't go a few minutes without cussing. I feel you there. I have to really work on that. And she said we're moving and finally got a place. Well, congratulations. We're really glad you did.
Congrats, honey. And hi, Raven.
I must have missed her. It's like the thing's moving fast, so I'm out.
I know.
I got an email after the 3rd of August when I got settled. That would be awesome. I would love that. I have to go shopping with my wife. I will inbox you later. Please check out my channel. We absolutely will check out your channel. And absolutely, if you want to be on the live, make sure you do inbox us.
Yeah.
My email and I think Rachelle's are both also linked on our channel.
Yes. I have it down below in the description on pretty much all of my videos. So, plus mine's also under the about information.
Yeah, that's mine's in the about. And if my email doesn't show up there, my Facebook does, and you can feel free to message me via Facebook too. Oops, Rochelle forgot to put her phone on silent.
Never fails. I'm really bad at that because the problem is I always forget to like turn it back on. So people are trying to contact me and I'm like, oops, sorry.
Oh, so Lady Blind Wolf is talking, but I can't see any of her messages or Raven's. I wonder if somebody started a
watch party.
Yeah, and then we can't see all of theirs.
Oh, that could be.
If you're in a watch party, if you go to the Crossroads page and you go to the original video, we'll be able to see what you're typing. Not that watch parties are bad. It's just hard to see everybody.
Yeah. It's so awesome to be a part of the round table. It's a safe place to share different perspectives. Exactly.
That is exactly what we intended for the roundtable, because there's so many of us who are on different paths. We do not have to argue about paths. We can be respectful and speak about our opinions and our experiences in a respectful manner and still come together in the pagan community.
Right on. Right. You can't see a lot of the comments?
Because some of them are coming from Facebook and you are on YouTube.
Right. Yeah. I'm not seeing some of them as well.
Well, I think because some of them are in a watch party.
Right. That makes sense.
Johnny, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm a little tired from all the traveling, but here we are.
Oh, you got some new earbuds. That's cool.
I can't see that one.
It's right above the other one. The by Johnny.
Oh, I do. Okay, earbuds. Yeah. I see it now.
Yeah. So we are going to postpone this conversation because we can't really have a roundtable discussion about cultural appropriation with two people. And so we're not going to be doing that. But we do want to tell people, contact us, like you said, either through our emails, if you feel more comfortable doing that, or right from the page, and let us know that you want to partake actually in the videos, the live videos. We would love your voice.
And also, if you have a topic you want to be heard on the roundtable, make sure you let us know. You can put it in the comments now. You could send it to us, whatever. We're open to whatever discussions people would like to hear in the witchy community.
Right.
Hi, Lady Blind Wolf. Now I can see you.
Hi, honey. So something else that we thought that we would do, any questions that you guys might have for us, we're here. Go ahead and ask us. I've got some cards. Jessica has some cards.
I do.
I'd like some cards drawn for you.
I will tell you, though, I'm not familiar with this deck. It is the Halloween Oracle deck. The pictures are so pretty on this deck. But if you want me to draw a card for you, just say I and I will, or Rachele will. I can do the live with you guys. Next one, I was going others the chance for this one. Well, if anybody wants to join in, just let me know and I'll send you a link. Lady Blind Wolf, you want to join in? Yeah, we are streaming on both.
So
hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Anyone would like a goddess card pulled for them? And I've got out of 2 different decks.
Those goddess cards are so damn pretty. They are.
If anyone would like to know maybe what kind of gemstone they should be working with right now, given all of the retrogrades that are going on, something that will kind of help maybe in the chaos.
If somebody wants a message from the universe, that's what I'll do. A 1-card draw message from the universe.
Or if somebody wants to know maybe an herb that they should be working with right now in their...
That's a cool one. Rachele did that for me earlier.
Yeah, and how good was that?
It was great, and it was right online. Lady Blindwolf, did you want an invite? Because I can definitely send you one, or Rachele can, and then you can come on the live. Okay. Cortney wants a message from the universe. Or did you want one of the cards that Rachele had?
We can do both.
Yep.
I mean, we've got a whole pretty much hour
to fill. So
right.
We did talk about doing some readings while we were on here.
Yeah.
I'm shuffling for Cortney right now. Okay. Is Lady Blind Wolf on your friends list on Facebook? Can you send her the link so she can join the stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go.
Cortney, you got the werewolf card. And again, I'm not familiar with this deck, so I am going to have to look it up. The werewolf card. Just look at that. The detail in this is gorgeous. It's not reflecting the light too bad. I feel like it's just sitting here and nobody's talking, but I'm really just looking for the werewolf card because this is not my deck. It is my sister-in-law's. Hi, Suze. How are you?
Did I do that under the right one, Lady Blindwolf? I hope I did. I hope I didn't send it to the wrong person.
Okay, Courtney says, after a painful, excruciating, bone-jarring struggling against the change, the man releases to the magic. Howling unrestrained under the full moon, now the half-man, half-wolf rises up, snarling, and goes looking for blood. Yes, we all know the power of the werewolf. After the end of the European witch trials, an intense interest in the werewolf developed, and folklore tells and evolved to become the stuff of horror stories. Fairly consistently since then, the Wolfman or Lycan has featured regularly in tales both oral and written. Of course, during the last 100 years, there have been many hugely popular movies, including American Werewolf in London, and themes and books such the recent Twilight Saga series. The werewolf is a kind of shifter, but one that has traditionally had little control over his wildness. In a way, an inner battle between civilization and wild animal nature fights inside the one body. The vitality, strength, and freedom of the animal versus the reason of control and intellect of the man, which one, though, is the dominant force. What is the healthy balance between our animal nature, one that is wild, free, and connected to nature, and our radically civilized humanness separated from our dominant over nature? The werewolf asks us to consider this balance and to devolve into our own ideas of wildness, independence, and custodianship of the planet. When is the last time you spent all day outside? When is the last time you threw your head back and howled at the moon? Do you quash the vitality and curiosity of your body and mind by sitting all day in front of a computer? The werewolf challenges you to weave a balance between nature and your own nature.
How funny is that? Because I was having a conversation with Cortney about like primal feelings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like instincts, gut instincts and stuff like that. Yeah.
I also think it's funny too because she's talked a lot about being stuck inside and not being able to get outside because of the quarantine in Ireland and things like that. And I think it does speak to that, saying that you need to get out, breathe some fresh air. I mean, there's a couple ways to look at it. Sounds like me, the experience. Thank you, honey, for doing that. I shall take the advice, and I need that deck. It's my daughter-in-law's deck. So it is very cool. Look at the Dawn card. They're just cute. So Lady Blindwolf said that she sent you a message on Instagram.
And I just sent her the link.
Okay. So then she just clicks the link.
Yes. So Cortney, honey, what other deck would you like? I've got the Herb Crafters. If you'd like to know kind of like what herb you could be working with right now. I've got the gemstones, if you'd like to know that. I've got the goddess cards, tarot, you name it.
Lady Blindwolf, did you get the link so that you can come in?
If she's never done it before.
Mm-hmm. Lavender Rivers would like a goddess message and a universal message. So when you're done with Cortney, we'll do her next. What are we doing? We are just doing a witchy chat with our fellow ladies and gentlemen in the community. And we're just going to do a few card readings for people.
So she wants me to use the Dark Mansions Tarot. And I'm just going to do a 3-card and see what I see. Unless you have a question, honey. Or do you just want like a general?
Your guests will need to connect their mic cam before you can add them to the stream. Lady Blindwolf, it's saying you need to connect your microphone and your camera.
And sometimes that just takes a second.
Mm-hmm. Jared said that he would be interested in knowing what gemstone, never used it, have had anyone use that one with me. And Cortney said, am I on the right track?
Are you on the right track? Okay.
Suze, yep, we'll get to you. Next is Lavender, and then Jared, and then we'll get to you.
If you want to do one of the other ones really quick, because it's
while you're pulling her.
Sometimes.
Okay, yeah, this will be the universal message for Lavender. I wish I had my regular tarot deck because I'm pretty proficient with that one.
Oh, wow.
Lavender, your card from the universal message is forgiveness. And this is quite a beautiful card. I'll tell you what that means while she's pulling for Cortney. Ugh. Nothing like just picking up a brand new deck that I've never used before and trying to find all the information.
I did get your cards.
You can go ahead while I look for the forgiveness card, because I honestly...
Okay, sorry. I think we're having issues with our internet again, like we did earlier.
Uh-oh. I hope not.
Oh, the other day, we've had friggin' Mercury. That's what it is. And she's backstage waiting. You just got to let her in.
It says devices are not connected. It says that I am trying it.
Won't let you?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You can log on and do the same thing because you are... See if it'll let you from your end. It just says device is not connected, and it says...
No, she says it's not letting her. It's not letting her turn her mic on.
Oh, her browser. Oh. You can do it from your browser. Phone, you can do it from your cell phone.
Right. You can try it from your cell phone, honey.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not as easy for her to see because she's got problems with her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on it, especially on your phone, it'll ask you to allow your browser or whatever. You got to go up a little bit and go to the very top. And there's 3 like little buttons. Click on that and choose the browser that you want to use. And then it'll load it up, or you have to approve it or whatever. So
yeah,
scroll down so that you can see the very top, and there'll be 3 buttons.
Hello, Making Mundane Magical. How are you? Thanks for joining us. We're a little bit of a distracted mess, but we'll get there. Do you want to do Cortney's, or you want me to do the forgiveness card for Lavender first?
Let me just do Cortney's really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Right here.
All right, go ahead.
So those are the 3 cards that we got. And, oops, I didn't have them in the right order. They were not facing each other, okay? They were apart from each other. And then the tower was in front of it. So what I see with that is, I think you would, no, I don't think that you are on right now the right track because of very heavy emotions. You're letting certain emotions overrule like your logical thinking, because even these, it's the tower with these 2, and they're not facing each other. They're facing away from each other, like fighting or something like that. A lot of emotions is what I see. So what I would say is, which, I mean, I know that this is true anyways because of what's going on with all of the retrogrades and high emotions and what's going on in the world right now. Emotions are running really, really true, and it's taking us off of our game. It's taking logical thinking sometimes out of the mix because you get so pulled in by all of the emotional things. It's hard to see outside of that. So I would say get your emotions under control as best as you can so that you can get back on track. That's what that shows me, honey. Would you like a different question?
That's always so powerful, though, when you're nailing it.
Yeah.
So Lavender, your forgiveness cards, it says, being a cold season festival, Halloween is a perfect time to pause and think about how things actually are in our lives and what heavy burdens we do not wish to carry through those harder, leaner times. Some of this heavy-heartedness may relate to old relationships or grievances. Some may relate to negative feelings we hold on to tightly about others, and even a lack of compassion for mistakes we've made ourselves. It is said that it might take a big person to apologize, but in many ways, it takes an even bigger person to forgive. When we hold grudges, the negative energy is incredibly toxic. It is like drinking poison and expecting the other unforgiven person to die. While this, we may even harbor feelings of revenge, and to be honest, that does not feel good for a while. It is important that we move those feelings along to forgiveness and release as soon as possible for our own health and well-being. If you've chosen this card, think about who it is that you could be forgiving, and that includes yourself. So that is your card, Lavender. Before we go into, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Before we move on, Jared had asked if we could talk about what we believe for the afterlife. She must still be having trouble with her mic because she keeps coming in and out. Were you trying to catch up with the chat?
Sorry.
Nope, that's okay.
Going up and down.
That's all right. I mean, I'm still here, and it is a retrograde. We've already discussed that, and technology is just one of those things that happens. So Rachele is having some technical difficulties. Lady Blind Wolf is having some technical difficulties, and while we wait for things to straighten out, I will tell you that for myself, afterlife is kind of like we have to live several lives so that we can ascend to a higher being, almost like an angel. I don't know specifically that we are going to ascend to be angels, but I believe that when we live this life, we have lessons to learn, and then we have to do the same in the next life and the next life until we become. So not sure about how that one hits. We'll have to ponder that one. I lost my train of thought because I read chat. Sorry. Anyway, I feel like we have to live all these lives so we can learn lessons and ascend to become a higher being. Oh, she's live.
Ah, there it goes.
Hi, honey.
Live.
I figured it out.
I got it.
Slowly but surely, I'm going to get this freaking technology crap down pat one way or the other.
Well, look, you made it, even through all of it.
Well,
you got here.
I'm a mess. I just got out of the shower. So.
Well, that's okay.
Oh, I'm going to go outside. I'll go. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, because I wasn't sure who you were still reading for. So go ahead.
Well, Jared had just asked a question about what we feel with the afterlife or what happens, and I was just explaining how I believe that we live several lives so that we can ascend to a higher being, almost angel-like, or I don't really know what higher being we become, but I do believe that's what we do.
Are you guys seeing me go out?
Yes,
No.
you go out and you freeze for a minute and then you come back.
Well, okay. I've got the screen far enough away so you guys are really small, so I wouldn't be able to tell, but that's okay.
Oh.
Okay.
She just
if it keeps on getting really bad.
When I'm done.
Am I here? Can you guys see me?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you're here. Well, it froze now. She's having some trouble with her internet. She's been, I don't know if it's her provider or what.
We've been having storms and stuff down here, so I think it's everybody. So that might be why. We were supposed to have a bad storm yesterday. That might be screwing up our internet.
Could be. Lavender River said, my thoughts on the afterlife are that we are in the boat on a river, sort of at the end of this life, we will flow into the universal ocean. Shelby, I'm glad that you popped in, though. I'm glad that you're swimming. Go have fun with the kids.
The Native American belief is that when you pass, you come to a bridge, and the animals are the ones that decide whether or not you go on to you ascend to that next level. It's up to the animals.
Right.
So, I didn't used to be one for past lives until I did that ancestral tarot reading, and I'm like, so I must have been a real witch in a previous life. Wow.
Jared said, Jessica, would you say we become closer to godlike beings after each lifetime, as long as we learn the lessons we need? I don't know if it's godlike. I think it's just that we ascend to our higher selves, one that makes us be what we needed to be, because we're all flawed, right? It's not that we become perfect, it's just that we become wiser. Aries said, yes, don't try to force it, and literally intend and will. Just before you go to sleep, say out loud, I will leave my body. Oh, she must be telling Jared about astral travel. And Lavender said, you're back. Lavender said, so the ocean is so vast and it's possible to know entirely what to expect, but it's bound to be both beautiful and powerful.
Okay, so
Guys,
all right.
again, with all the retrogrades, we're just having some technical difficulties, but I think we might have it fixed now. So
My son is actually rebooting our router right now. I came on my phone really quick. So I can't see the chat, just so you know.
okay. Well, there's a lot in chat, so
I have another phone that I used to do my videos with, and I've been using that, and I don't know what my kid did with it. So,
Shelby said, can I ask what is cultural appropriation exactly? Nothing to sound ignorant. I have an idea, just want to be sure. Go ahead, Rachele.
Cultural appropriation is where people borrow or use other things from different cultures that are not like their lineage, without giving like proper credit, or without without doing their due diligence to research these things, not always doing things in a respectful manner. That's what cultural appropriation is. So
not respecting the history and totally adopting it, and just like a lot of white people get in trouble that I've known that practice voodoo, and they're like, well, you have no business practicing voodoo because you're white.
Well, I mean,
You know,
color of your skin does not determine your ancestry,
right? But
or whether you should. But that's why that's why this topic is so important. We're not talking about Native Americans who get aggravated with the Halloween costumes, because that's a type of cultural appropriation too. But that does go along with it. But bringing up voodoo or hoodoo, because I have seen people say you don't have the right lineage to practice that because of the color of your skin, which, by the way, is absolutely ridiculous.
well,
to me, it's another form of elitism, but yeah,
we all came from Africa, so we all originated from Africa, and we just moved on to different, areas. And then that also goes back to the whole past life issue. Maybe you were African American and practicing in a past life. So,
when I was in third grade and I learned about the Underground Railroad and Harriet Tubman, I went back and told my mom when I was in third grade that I had been reincarnated from Harriet Tubman, that I was her in a past life. Where the hell did that come from? We didn't even really talk about reincarnation at that point. I just felt so strongly about it at that point that I had been a part of something that had to do with that.
And you might have, just because, listen, the color of our skin is a huge issue all over the world. It is, and it shouldn't be, because we are literally one race. human race. And if people would stop closing their minds to the most idiotic things, then we could do so much better. And I just cannot. Cultural appropriation can get me quite heated because of the fact that people think that just that stupid things dictate what you can or cannot do. Lavender is saying hoodoo's a big one. Hoodoo's the closest thing to the local folk magic I grew up with, but I wouldn't call myself a hoodoo practitioner or try to exploit it financially, but it heavily influenced my own practice. And hoodoo is one that I see a lot on Facebook where people are like, you can't do that, especially since it has ancestral magic. Well, ancestral magic is calling on your ancestral lineage. We all have ancestors, and whether they were Christian in this life or hoodoo practitioners or Celtic or whatever, they're still our ancestors and we can still call on them. They're still there for us as long as they've not moved on to the next life.
Listen, I do think that there should be a huge amount of respect when you are learning anything from somebody else's culture, though. Absolutely. And I think you should be careful about what you do because, I mean, some of these are founded in such like hoodoo, to my understanding, and I don't know that much about it, to be honest with you, but from my understanding, it was founded by like slaves in order to, you know, find escape or whatever from what was happening, and what was happening to their lives was horrendous. Okay. So when we use something like that, I think we need to be able to make sure that we're crediting, doing what we're doing properly. But at the same time, I think if somebody looks at that and says, well, you shouldn't be doing that because it wasn't in your bloodline or in your DNA or whatever, I just see that as another form of elitism in everything and another way to divide us rather than us all coming together and sharing in common things.
Well, okay, so I have 2 children. One is half black and one is half Hispanic. I do not necessarily work with Oshuns or Orishas, but I will respect it out of, because of my kids. And if something, I need to be more educated because if something where I need to do something for my kids, then it's there, it's honored and it's respected in their home.
Right.
Because of my kids. And the other thing that people slam you for is of being mixed race because you're watering down your bloodline. I mean, I'm Celtic and Native American, and I've been told that there is some black in our family. So, but yet everyone's mixing cultures because everyone's of mixed race.
We all are.
You're right. We're all mixed.
Somewhere. Right.
Rachele, we've had this conversation before. My mom's grandmother, which would be my great-grandmother, was full-blooded Cherokee Indian. My mom's grandpa, which would be my great-grandpa, also and that's all from my mom's side, her mom's side. He was black, or rather, he was probably half black. We're not really sure because trying to find heritage on my grandfather's father's side is extremely difficult because his mother was a slave. Not that you would know that by looking at me because I'm red hair and white skin, but that's just 2 generations back. And that's Native American and black married in the United States. And my grandmother was born in 1938. And if you were to try to tell her she has any black in her, she freaks out because of the way she was treated when she was a child.
If you know what state your grandfather was in when he was a slave,
South Carolina.
You can go, okay, well, then you can go to that particular county and they should have county rolls and his name would be listed on that.
I promise you, we've tried. And my grandmother, too, we can't trace her history back because she's Cherokee and they traveled everywhere.
Well, the Cherokee, they split. If they split, you had half that went to Oklahoma and then the other half that went down to Tennessee and all that. That branch didn't keep up with their enrollment. So it's next to impossible because I've tried tracing mine also. And because we're not of the Oklahoma branch, you can't.
The only thing that we could definitely find on her was a prison record. It's like my mom's side of the family can only go back to the grandparents, nothing prior to that. I promise we've tried. We've even had experts try. And that's my mom's side.
Yeah, it's if you're not on the Oklahoma branch, you can't trace it because they didn't keep up with the enrollment. That's why.
Let's see.
We got our internet back. Who knows how long we're going to have it, though. So I'm reading some of these.
Cortney said, yes, I was attacked and told that I don't count as Native because I'm a half Native, not full, but literally about half. My dad is Mohawk. See, I don't know why people think they can tell you what you are. You're not all anything. You're just, and not to be crude, but the truth of the matter is most people are what I call just a sperm milkshake, because everybody has a bunch of different crap inside of them, and the outside of our skin is just appearance. What's inside is what really matters, and we are, again, one race, the human race.
I mean, the way I see it is a lot of problems that started is because of the separation, right? Of all of the different, I mean, even if you believe like in evolution, the reason why somebody's skin turned a different color is because they were in a different environment. So their skin adjusted to that, just like animals will adjust to certain things. Now, granted, I don't believe completely 100% in Darwin's theory of evolution, because I believe that there was some monkeying going around. That was not the right word.
We knew what you meant, though. You're all good.
There was some DNA, mixed with, I believe, from, like, let's say, Anunnaki, right? But they
were partying it up.
Source. We all came from the same source, and then when we migrated to different areas, our skin color started changing, and we started adapting to our environments. But that's what has caused so many problems. Nation fighting nation. It's nothing new. It's happened from the time that history's been recorded, that we've been fighting each other over land and religion, and it's got to stop. That's what I honestly believe. This whole evolution of what is happening right now is we are starting to come together. It's about being that one whole consciousness and human rights, instead of just looking at, this is my country, or this is my culture. Start mixing it together again.
Courtney said that what took place for her happened on a debate about smudge, and I see that a lot. People are saying you can't use Palo Santo, you can't use smudge. Excuse me, I'm pretty sure the guys put it here for all of us to use. So I mean, and it's good for a lot of things. So I'm not sure why the hell anybody would think you cannot use it.
Well, first of all, each tribe, my ex was full-blooded Shoshone and Sioux, so I'm just repeating what he would say. Every tribe has their own different beliefs, and just because the Mohawks believe this way doesn't mean that the Cherokee or the Blackfoot or the Nez Perce or the Delaware or the Miami did it different. They all had their own religious beliefs, and so what's acceptable to one tribe wasn't acceptable to another.
Yeah, you're right. And it's like that with witchcraft traditions as well. What one path does, another doesn't. What one herb means, it might not mean to them. And it's very much, so I feel like no matter what we do, we're kind of all cultural appropriating stuff. But that's life. That's how we blend. That's how we make things work for us. Shelby said, I hate when we can't just openly share our cultures without hate. Like, yes, I understand this is your history, but I would also like to learn and maybe be a part of it as well, not take it and make it mine. I mean, that's a good point. We're using it for ourselves in a way that's beneficial to us. And you would think, at least in my opinion, that if somebody was using something I had invented, I would feel good about it, because that means I contributed something to the well-being of somebody else. I need to let my dog out. I need a minute. Sorry.
And this is live. Let me see. Sperm milkshake. Did you just say sperm milkshake? Yes, she did. She said sperm milkshake. It was like the Tower of Babel. That's what I was thinking about. We were
Was it?
divided so that we couldn't ascend as quickly in unity. Exactly. They mixed up our languages, spread us in different parts of the world, and separated us, divided us so that we could not come together, exactly like you're saying, in unity because we have power. It is, well, that's my belief. You can't get an accurate reading if you don't shuffle the deck. You have to
We've
blend in order to tell the story. Right.
we've been oppressing each other since time began, and we need to start fully acknowledging the atrocities that have been committed and make amends for it. Because someone was talking about with karmic debt that you need to make, if you're white and a different ancestry, and you need to make amends with the other ancestry to kind of get things, cleanse yourself with that.
Yeah.
It was so airy and light, and then now the energy feels so heavy because this is such a heavy topic.
It really is.
Mm.
It really is. It's a touchy subject, but you know, I was watching a video earlier today, and it was difficult conversations with a Black man. And this time he had on two different couples that were mixed race couples, and he was asking them questions. And the lady was one of them. She was the first Black bachelorette, and she had picked a white guy. And I think her name was Rachel. I think her name is Rachel. You would think I would easily remember that, right? But anyways, and then there was another. So she's Black, and her boyfriend is white. And then the other couple, the lady is white, and the guy was Black. And he was asking them questions, and they, being in a mixed, both of them being in mixed couples, they would get it from both sides of, you know, who they knew, like saying that you're like betraying the Black race if you're Black, and you're betraying the white race if you're white. And it just, you know, why does it got to be like that? That's the problem.
It doesn't. People just close their mind to whatever they feel is incorrect. What they need to do is, okay, if it's not for you, then don't do it, but mind your damn business. And I know that sounds really harsh, but that's really the reality. If it's not hurting you or hurting them, it's none of your business.
It's fear. People are afraid of losing their cultural identity, and if everybody is of the same race, all that's going to be out the window.
But think of how much more peace we would have in the world if that was the case. Because people wouldn't be afraid of what they don't know or understand, because we would be more melding together as a people. Not, this is my nation, this is my culture, this is, you know, it's just, as long as they continue to separate us and we continue to separate ourselves from other human beings, that's when we're going to have problems.
People are afraid of losing their traditions and their belief system.
Shelby, first she said, I came into your family, Jessica, and learned about paganism with an open mind without immediately turning it away. And it turns out it's what I enjoy learning and being a part of. She further goes on to say race, culture, and religion aren't the same, but they are both a big deal. Not comparable-ish, kind of, but both make people very hateful and revengeful. And I put it up there because that's a very true statement. And they are comparable, I think. They're very comparable because people do get just as ugly and nasty about religion as they do about race. So they are.
Very true. I will say I did just read that the Supreme Court is upholding that part of Oklahoma is going to stay as part of like the Indian nation, their reservation. it was supposed to be theirs all along, and the United States did not hold, you know, the treaty. I don't know. I think it's on my Facebook, but the Supreme Court is saying they still have these rights. But they've been fighting for a long time about this because it could cause problems with healthcare and stuff like that. And the governor or whatever is saying, or the tribe is showing that a lot of things have flourished in their community versus the federal government or the Oklahoma State community. So why wouldn't you uphold it? Because a lot of people lived there and didn't even realize that they were actually living on a reservation in Oklahoma.
Okay, see, here's the thing, because we've been dealing with that same thing with the Miami Indians where I'm at, and they've been fighting for years to be acknowledged. But another thing that upsets people is that some tribes are given a thing called a per cap. So every person is given like $230 if they keep up with the enrollment. So, I mean, what, Rachele, you have 2 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's 230 for you, there's 230 for each of your kids, and then there's 230 for your husband. So what, that's a couple $1,000 right there? At least
Roughly 1,000, but is
Yeah.
that a monthly kind of stipend?
Yes.
Kind of
Yeah, just like SSI and Social Security and stuff like that, yeah.
And they get that from like the casinos and stuff like
No,
that.
they get it from the government.
Oh, okay. Because I know that they also disperse money depending on what tribes they are. I don't have a whole lot of information, just general information that I've heard about dispersing money to certain tribes that are associated with casinos and stuff like that as well. Correct?
Right, but I know the Shoshone get about 230, and if they have a legal issue or something like that, then they have to borrow from the tribe, and then they don't get their money back until the debt's paid. So, but that's the other thing is, the government reimburses them, and that's one of the issues that some people see. I mean, people have an issue with people like me getting SSI because I'm a burden to the government. So if you're different,
Well, I'm not really sure how they can say SSI is a burden to the government, since it's really hard to get that and you have to fight for it and really prove that you need it. It's not like welfare where they just give it to you if you're not working. SSI is completely different. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about that. Cortney said change is uncomfortable, so they battle it, but we're evolving out of it. And then Jared says, maybe it's a world challenge for everyone to learn that we are all the same. It's taking time, but it's making progress over time. We will fall behind, but we will get there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know if I feel like it's progressing. I feel like it's just for a long time there wasn't as much light shed on it, and then when you start shedding light on it, then you have people still arguing that stuff isn't happening when it really is, and you can't really make progress when you have people with closed minds. And I cannot believe how many people do have closed minds, not just about race, but politics and religion and everything. The world is so freaking divided, it's insanity.
Actually, I see where you're coming from, but I do agree that things are progressing, because I don't think that you're going to have an ascension until we deal with the shadow and with the light, like you said, being put onto all of these things that have been hidden for so long, or just not like commonplace for people to know or be able to research. Then that's when stuff starts getting done. When people become aware of it, then we can start working on it. When it's something that we don't know, there's never progress. So that's why that expression, it's always darkest before the dawn. It's because you got to work through the shadow to get to the light. That's something. So
I think Cortney agrees with you. She says, exactly, Jared, the awakening or ascension is teaching us and throwing us in the situation where we're being forced to evolve mass lessons and individual lessons. I agree that there's ascension happening for some people, but you got to have the majority of people that have an ascension to have major changes, and I don't feel like we're even close to there yet.
Ascension is going to happen whether people want it to or not, because this ascension is not just about our what we see and what we don't see. This ascension is also about vibrations and the actual Schumann resonance, which is what the vibration of the earth is changing, and it has changed, and people are changing with it, just like the moon, how the moon affects us, because we're 60% water and the earth is 71% water. 97% of that water that is the earth is in oceans. So the moon has a huge pull on the tides and what happens, and it also has a huge pull on us. So when the earth is changing her what she's vibrating at, we as her inhabitants, it's affecting us too. So regardless, it's like that card, you have a choice. The universe is giving you a choice now. Either you're going to take it or you're not, but it doesn't matter. The end result is going to be the same. You're either going to evolve or you're going to start at the beginning again. That's my opinion.
Well, crime goes up during a full moon, for one thing. And for another, I have to disagree, because we just had, not in my town, but in a town called Bloomington, we just had a man almost lynched over the 4th of July weekend. And the white people that tried to help this black man, the people that were doing the lynching were calling them liberals. So they're sitting here being racist and then trying to make a political statement with it. And now there's protests going on in Bloomington.
Well,
so people are still doing crazy stuff.
Oh, it's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. It's all coming in our face right now. But just to give a little bit of perspective here, Saturn comes in about every 29 or so years, right? And we have that in retrograde right now. Mercury's in retrograde in Cancer, which is all about emotions and all that stuff. That's why everyone's emotions are running crazy. And plus, we are in the Cancer month. But Jupiter is in retrograde in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is like karma. Saturn is like the grandfather of astrology. And he's like saying, okay, it's time to pay the piper. Lessons are being taught right now or being learned, and you have to face it. Then Saturn is in retrograde in Capricorn and Aquarius. Neptune is in retrograde in Pisces, which Pisces is also extremely watery and emotional and psychic. Pluto is in retrograde in Capricorn. And this lunar eclipse was in, the full moon was also a lunar eclipse on the 4th and the 5th, depending on where you live. And that was also in Capricorn and the South Node. And the South Node is also about past lives and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is happening. It's really happening. It's intense. And these things have not happened like for a long, long time. This kind of alignment in our skies, a long, long time.
I definitely can feel the ascension and the awakening. I just, all I'm saying is I just don't know. I mean, yes, an ascension can be forced through, but you can't awaken everybody no matter what happens. People are still going to hang on to those ugly beliefs that they have, and they're still going to fight against it. I mean, that's essentially all I'm saying. Cortney says, I definitely see things progressing daily and rapidly right now, and we were slowly. Look at how we've moved since the 1900s. I mean, we've made progress, yes. Progress.
We're making progress. And here's my thought on ascension and those people that are not ascending. I believe in different timelines as well. So like some people are going to go into, or you could look at it as like different dimensions, however you want to look at it. But I think some people that are evolving to a certain level or a certain vibration. That's why I always say vibration is so important, raising your vibration, because the earth is, and you can check it out. I just looked at it the other day. They are recording that the Earth's vibration is heightening, also because we are moving into a different part of the solar system. So perhaps what's going to happen is certain people are going to go onto a different timeline, and it's going to create a different timeline for those that stay behind. But if you raise your vibration, you are also affecting those people that are around you just by contact, when they come in contact with you. That's why I always say it's important to have like your stuff like this, or your oils or your gemstones around you, because they help you raise your vibration. And if you don't believe that, then how can they measure the earth and see that the earth is actually raising our vibration? These things are on the earth. The crystals are part of the earth. So are we. So are the plant life, the herbs that we burn, right?
Yeah, we're all of the same earth.
Exactly.
It's funny. I went to go do some things, and I went to the metaphysical shop, and my daughter's like, "Well, we're moving," and I'm like, "Look, I need to get some herbs in this house because, she's just griping at me, and I'm like, I need to get, and I'm actually going to try lemon balm. I've never tried it before, so." But we all, with COVID and this whole election issue, that doesn't help the situation any either.
No.
Hi, Jasmine. Jasmine says raising the vibration is not optional at this point. I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with that. And using everything the earth is giving us to help us do that, especially through all these retrogrades and the political climate and the state of our world and our country. It is a mess for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why we need to start growing our own gardens and stuff, because like with COVID, nobody could really get anything herb wise. You can, when you need to do basic things, if you don't have your herbs and stuff in place, then you're kind of in trouble.
Well, actually, you can go outside in your own backyard and get almost everything you need. Everything you need is provided by nature. And no matter where you live at, if you just get out in nature, you'll find what you need.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm getting a cat trying to get at my phone cord here. No. Aiden, quit. He's just up my behind because he doesn't want to get bullied. No, the other cat bullies him. Stop. So he's like, I'm going to come over here with Mom because then I won't get my butt kicked.
Now, Lavender Rivers just made a really good point. She said ascension happens regardless of whether people want it to or not. I believe those who resist it risk becoming permanently lower vibrational beings. I think that does kind of go along with what you were saying. So I can see it from that perspective a little better. When I'm saying that, I don't think it's all going to happen at once. Maybe that's what it is for me. It is that the people who are resisting it will just stay at a lower frequency where the rest of us raise up.
I mean, if you think about it, the contacts that people have had, spiritual contacts with gods and goddesses and other beings, maybe like fairies or aliens or light beings, they are simply beings that are on different vibrational or different frequencies, right? So like even when somebody talks about like ayahuasca and taking like something like that, a mind altering drug, where they can actually see different realms, right? I think that's maybe, or even that, like the afterlife, ghosts having, I mean, what is that? That's like a different realm. The afterlife is just like a different frequency.
I mean, that's absolutely true. The afterlife is a different frequency. I have some mediumship abilities, and spirits talk to me. They don't live on the same plane of existence as us, but they can communicate with us from that plane. So, I mean, I get what you guys are saying. And vibrational laws, and that's how I work with stuff. You have to raise your vibration to get what you want, to get on the same level as your vibration. So I guess I can understand it a little bit better because I was coming from it from a different point, but I can see what you're saying, and I hope I make it sense. You know how I am. I just like always bumble over my own damn words.
Yeah.
So Jasmine said, "Oh my God, I had the strongest urge to grow a garden this year. I think a lot of people are having that." And then Brenda, well, welcome Brenda. She says, "I'm working on my garden currently. Planted devil's trumpet in the ground today."
Nice. Mine is actually doing really well. It's like my first time ever because I've always had like, a black thumb. I'm growing, lettuce in here. I'm growing tomatoes. I'm growing sage and lavender, and it's all doing really, really well. And I'm just like, you go, girl.
I just if I don't have something that well, mostly I write my own spells anyway, but I've done that before. Like I did a big money spell and I just knew this was a correct blend, but I was having trouble getting alfalfa. So then I had to find a proper substitute for it. But I just want everybody to know that's watching that if you can't find what is in a spell, find something in your natural setting that you do not have to purchase and then add that, because that is absolutely possible. Everywhere you go, I don't care if it's the desert, the mountains, or the flatlands, there are plants and herbs for everything you need.
And when you live in major cities, getting out in nature is a bit difficult for some.
It can be a bit difficult, but a walk around your block, dandelion, mullein, it grows everywhere and it's good for a lot of stuff. There are graveyards where you can get graveyard dirt. There is all types of trees and plants, even inside the city, where you can go find what I promise you can.
Even if you just go walk out in the grass with bare feet, go hug a tree somewhere. Go buy some damn herbs from your local farmer's market if you can, or from your grocery store. If that's what you have, then you use what you have, and you just, charge it with your own intention, because we are like, I had said this, and I don't know if anybody else thinks this, or I thought this years ago, and I told my sister about it. She's like, "Oh, that's kind of interesting," but I had this feeling like, when it talks about Kronos and him being the Titan, and then him eating his children, and Zeus actually was hidden. And so he came back and was able to free his brothers and sisters from inside of Kronos, right? Who, by the way, is also Saturn. Anyways, Father Time, right? So my thought was, if the universe, if it's like as above, so below, and as within, so without, or whatever, however that goes, I always thought of thinking of Kronos as a body, and then a whole universe inside of him, right? So we are also a whole universe inside of us. So we've got all of the elements inside of us. We're just inside of that universe, but there's other things that are inside of us as a universe. Does that sound freaking crazy or what? But my point is, all the elements, we have all the elements already here with us. We don't technically need anything else. We are the whole thing already.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. That we are all we need to make things happen. However, I like the herbs and I like working with them and I love their energy. So
Yes,
I'm definitely passionate about that. No, you're more the crystal lady. I love that about you because you know so much and you have so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know you have tons of herbs. I know you do. I've seen them.
I love
You
my
have
herbs.
it.
Okay.
You have as many herbs as I do. Let's talk about herbs for a second. Let's lighten up the conversation because I'm feeling a little bit bogged down by the cultural appropriation. Heavy topic. Sometimes I think it's good to throw in something else. Is everybody okay with that?
Would anyone like to know what gemstone they should be working with right now?
Yes,
or,
please.
Or herbs that they should be working with right now?
That herb deck is awesome. I said earlier, and I know some of you heard me, but I see some new people are on. Rachele drew a card for me, and it was perfect. So I think it's pretty spot on.
All right. Let's do you, Lady Blind Wolf. Let's first do what herb. You were talking about getting some herbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what herb should she get? This could take a while because I always do it until they fly out. I'm sourcing all my herbs and plants allies this year. So much work. That is so good.
Hi, Matt. How are you? Thanks for joining. Jasmine asked if you would pull a card for her, the herb card for her when you're done.
Okay. All right, here we go. Oh my God.
What is it?
Lemon balm. Oh my God. I just got done saying that. Lemon balm.
I was just talking to the lady that runs the shop, and I was talking about lemon balm, and she's not certified, so she can't tell you. And I was asking her about it, and she had some in stock. So, wow. Because I was going to mix it with some mugwort.
Lemon balm, honey? Why were you thinking lemon balm?
Okay, back, when I first started on the path, I was in it for 2 years. I left for 20 some years, and I came back to the path. And Cortney and a few other people have been telling me, you're not a sensitive, you're empathic. And I know there's a lot of blockages, and I'm trying to unblock that. And I know mugwort does that, and I was wondering if there was something else I should mix with the mugwort in order to help that along. So that was kind of why. And we were talking about lemon balm, and she said, yeah, you might want to put some in there without saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. Well, it talks about in this, lift your spirits with the scent of happiness. Pleasure shared is pleasure multiplied. Celebrate your heart's delight. And there's more too, but
I've moved, like, this is going to be like my second move in 3 months. So, oh yeah, I need to be getting some pleasure and heart's delight somewhere at this point.
So Jasmine wanted a card pulled for the herb.
Thank you.
Lavender River said, we have a lot of salt built into us. We can protect ourselves from within when we focus and source from within. Agree. I do love those herb cards, Rachele. I'm going to need the link because I might need that deck.
I just did a walkthrough a few days ago, and the link is in there, sweetie.
I'll make sure I give it a check.
You got 2 of them that came up, Jazz. One is Golden Seal, and one is Black Cohosh.
I don't think I've ever heard of Black Cohosh. So I'll be interested to see what that one is.
Oh, it's not in this either. All right, let's see what it says in the book. But this is the picture for and there's a star on there. But that's Black Cohosh. And it's the 5 of Fire. Oh, 5 of Wands. So like a lot of competition, feeling like a lot of competition. 5 of Fire. All right. It says, anger is sacred. Burn through the slumber of helplessness and complacency. Resist. Women's rage is a force that will change the world. Yeah. Okay. She says it makes perfect sense. And then, and Golden Seal is right next to it. Seek out healing waters to ease your pain. A restored heart clears the vision. Golden hope dwells deep underground.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good night, Courtney. I hope you sleep well. She said she had to get retired to her coffin.
Good night, sweetie. Yeah, interesting. Do you want to know what crystal? You guys want to know what crystal to work with?
Oh, hold on. She's messaging me. Hold on.
Jasmine said fire and water.
Fire and water. Ah, yeah.
She just messaged me. I was asking her about a black mirror. So
That's what I got for you, Jess.
What is it? I'm sorry, Ken.
Chrysocolla.
Chrysocolla.
It says, are you dealing with an inflamed or unbalanced situation? Do you have imbalances in your body? Balance your emotions through journaling, exercise, and healthy communication. Take care of your body, mind, and spirit. Yoga and meditations are beneficial. The angel of balance. Aren't you a Libra?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes perfect sense for my current situation. So, yeah.
Says my body
Lavender.
is healthy and in balance. My cells naturally regenerate and rejuvenate themselves so that all of my systems function harmoniously. I am calm and relaxed. I exercise regularly. I enjoy my meditation practice on a regular basis.
Hi, Morgan. How are you?
So that was good.
That is good. Lavender River said she would love a crystal card.
Okay. That also has a lot to do with like your throat chakra.
I need one of those.
Lavender, you got pink calcite, which says, do you need more sweetness in your life? Are you gentle with yourself in your words and thoughts? Treat yourself with kindness. Cultivate loving friends, family, and environment. Be your own best friend and the best friend that you can be to others. Angel of kindness. I am blessed with nurturing vibrations wherever I go. I am gentle with myself. I recognize, because these are like affirmations on the other side. I am gentle with myself. I recognize that kind-heartedness brings about better life situations. I am kind and compassionate with myself and others. I enjoy loving relationships.
I really like that deck too, Rachele. If everybody didn't know, Rachele has hundreds of decks. She has all of them.
I got about 65 decks.
Oh, that's
close
nothing.
enough.
If you ever watched Mama Squirrel, I think she has close to 400.
Yeah, she does.
Brenda said, pull mine as well, Rachele, please.
Will do, sweetie.
And then Morgan Victoria said, I'm good. Are we pulling cards? I'd love to have one. Or how are you today? We're good. Thank you for asking.
Oops.
Rachele, have you ever thought about Shaman's Wisdom? It does all of them. Crystals, herbs, all of that. And it's an oracle deck.
Oh, I've not heard of that. I've not seen that. Do you have that?
I do. I did a review on it a while back. I don't have it on me. It's in storage, but I did a review on it. I can send it to you.
Cool. Thank you. Or I'll just go and check your channel.
Yeah.
Snowflake Obsidian.
Is that one for Brenda?
Yeah, it's for B.
Okay.
Brenda. Are you afraid of the dark or of the unknown? Do you feel vulnerable? There is always darkness within light. Darkness accentuates brightness. So to clearly see situations, people, and circumstances. Embrace the darkness to enhance the clarity in your life. Ooh. So has the dark goddess maybe been calling out to you? I courageously see through the darkness of adversity to make positive changes that light up my life. Or have you been doing shadow work lately? I know there is light at the end of the tunnel. I see myself, situations, and others clearly and participate in the transformation of negative to positive. Oh, I love that. I need to get me some Snowflake Obsidian.
Lavender said, "Oh, that's a good one, y'all. I'm so stressed about income issues and trying not to internalize and kick my own butt over it. Guess that clarifies the forgiveness card."
Yes. Don't beat yourself up over about it.
Morgan wants to know what the shaman deck was again.
It's called Shaman's Wisdom, but I mean, I don't have it on me, or I would go get it. It's in storage. But after the chat, I can put my link in the comments, and then they can look it up. But it's Shaman's Wisdom, and it does crystals, herbs, astrology. It does everything.
Brenda said, "Thank you. Yeah, lots of negative energy around."
It's got like a coyote on it on the picture. So.
Who am I doing it for now? What's her name, honey?
Morgan Victoria.
Morgan. Okay, Morgan. Because I don't see her on. Is she on Facebook?
She's she's messaging from Facebook.
Okay. Oh. Whoops. What is that?
Tubular quartz. Is that what it said?
Tabular quartz. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
This is what it says. Do people listen when you speak? Do you feel like you are not being heard? Know exactly what you wish to communicate. Use telepathy to convey your message through visualization and imagination. Send mental pictures as you speak, heart to heart and mind to mind. Now, the affirmation on the other side, the angel of telepathy says, when I speak, people listen and understand what I am expressing. I communicate from my heart to the hearts of others. I easily visualize and send mental pictures of my ideas, visions, opinions, and other matters of importance as I speak. That is so right on, because you know what? It also amplifies whatever you're doing. Quartz does, especially when it's clear.
I love how that has the affirmations on the back of it.
Isn't this a beautiful deck?
It is a beautiful deck.
It's the only one I have for crystals, because every other deck I have not liked. I'm very particular when it comes to the crystal stuff.
Well, that crystal section in the Shaman's Wisdom isn't that big, but they do a lot of herbs and things like that. It's more chakra related.
Yes, that's cool. I love that. I love working with the chakra stuff. That puts it a little bit easier also. This quartz, tabular quartz, also I would associate with your crown chakra. So telepathy, your connection with the divine, but also amplifying your thoughts and stuff like that. So the pink, obviously that had to do with like the heart chakra. The pink calcite for lavender, which makes sense. Just loving yourself and forgiveness. So did anyone else want anything?
Morgan said, "So perfect. Thank you." Brenda, I am in the Witches group. I just joined maybe 2 weeks ago. Yes, I'm in there. Is everybody else in the Witches group?
I don't believe I am.
That's actually an amazing group. People do their Amazon wish list, and then you get to get granted a wish, or you can grant some wishes. Either way, it's very fulfilling and pretty amazing. Lavender River said, "Agree, the universe is speaking today." Rachele, I could listen to you read cards all day.
I love it.
I think the only oracles I have right on me are my Santa Muerte Oracle and my Power Animal Oracle. Those are the only ones I've got. Oracle.
The Santa Muerte is really cool. I've got the deck, but I don't have the oracle. I got the tarot, but not the oracle.
Oh, it's like $17 on Amazon, I think.
Yeah. I better not. I got another deck coming too that I just bought last night.
That's why my kid was throwing a fit because I was like, I'm going to sneak and I'm going to go buy Ancestral Path, you know, and they didn't have it. So I think somebody else bought it.
Rochelle,
Oh,
you have a
I kind of,
question.
can you read my cards later? Yes. This is yours, Jazz. Apache Tears. Are you grieving the loss of someone or something? Feel the grief and allow yourself to cry. Release the toxins from your body, mind, and emotional being. Comfort and peace are close at hand. Focus your attention on your desired outcome. I allow myself to feel my feelings and express them through my physical and mental actions. Tears flow easily, and I am releasing pent-up emotions. I am able to let go. I am comforted, and I am at peace. That was your affirmation. So
that's funny. That was one of the first stones I started working with, and that's an obsidian, I believe, a form of obsidian.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've never had this stone yet.
Really, Rochelle, I have one I can give to you.
I can, when I move next month, because I can get them for really cheap also.
Awesome. Yeah, I want one.
I have some of the
Awesome.
Apache Tears.
Anybody else? Oh my God, Wish Witches is the bomb. I've been creating my list since I've joined. Yeah, I put mine on there too. I've been really sad lately with everything going on. I just want peace. I understand, honey. Absolutely. I've never had one of these. I will get some.
I do have this on me. I have a pendulum that I made, and it has Apache tear in it.
Oh, very cool.
My pendulum is amethyst. I have one that's amethyst and one that is tiger's eye.
Oh, I got one for my birthday, and I don't even know what this stone even is. So,
would anybody like a three card pull on a question or anything?
I'll take one just for one card, a message from the universe.
All right.
I like the universal messages. So, I mean, the universe is always trying to shout at us. And, you know, sometimes I say one card, but sometimes two will flip out, then you have to read two. But the universe definitely can just flow right in there and tell you exactly what you need to hear through a card. It's amazing, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right. Just a one card for Jess. Just give me a one card for Jess.
I can grab my power animal.
I'm doing this one.
Okay. Brenda asked if that deck is by Margaret Correct.
Which deck?
I think the crystal deck. Maybe.
It's by Margaret Ann Lembo. Yes, by Margaret. Yes. Didn't you say that she lives right by you, honey? This is the card that you got.
Okay. I can't read it, sweetie, because it's
the King of Pentacles.
It's the what? I'm sorry.
The King of Pentacles.
Oh, the King of Pentacles.
Yeah. He is Deep Pockets daddy. Okay. He's the one that's got stability. He's the one that's got money. He's got he's very grounded. He's either a Capricorn or he is a what are the other, a Taurus or Virgo. Do you know anybody like that? Earthy sign. And keep in mind, it doesn't have to be their sun sign either. Somebody that's like really earthy, down to earth, but a good provider.
Yes, I do know somebody like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what the focus is on. But I'm seeing that big old pentacle in his lap.
Mm-hmm.
A gold amount of money. So I see money coming in your future.
Well, Rachele,
stability.
You know,
and look at that beard.
I see. It's funny, that whole thing. And I'll tell you why later during a private chat. But you know what's happening currently and what's coming. So that card definitely made perfect sense when you pulled it.
Deep pocket daddy is what I call him.
Yeah.
Wow.
What you got there, honey?
Well, okay, she got the snake and it says, you are a healer.
Who got the snake?
You did.
You are a healer.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I gotta.
I don't have my glasses,
It's
so
an
I can't read
amethyst. It's like a chevron amethyst. Here, I'll take it off so you guys can see it.
Lavender said, I love watching live readings. I always learn something. Even when the message aren't sent to me, there's always something coming through that I can grow from hearing. Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
And on top of that, it helps to learn the cards better because, as we all know, and I've made clear, I'm not proficient at reading tarot. And I have learned so much from Rachele. So much.
And I've not been doing it that long. It's not even been 2 years for me yet. But whenever I do something, I put my all into it. You know, I'm all in. I don't do anything half-assed. So
I know.
I made these cheap little sheet things for me that were out of laminated like paper, and I actually sent them to Cortney today. He sent them in the mail to her. So
I think that's pretty awesome. So,
but you also need to do what it means. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I think your mic went out or something. But it also depends on what the cards mean to you too.
yes.
well, if you guys haven't checked out Amethyst Ascension on Facebook, because Rachele has a Facebook page, and in her page and in her private group, she posts 3 cards almost every day and asks everybody to talk about the story they see in the cards. And I think it's an amazing exercise that she started to do that helps people start to infer the cards in their own way.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. There's no right or wrong way to read the tarot, in my opinion. But you can either find somebody that you gel with or not gel with. And the biggest thing for me, and not everybody feels this way, and that's okay, but the biggest thing for me is I wanted to know the actual meanings before I started. Because for me, I like that foundation. And like I was talking to somebody earlier, I think it was Cortney. When you're learning, let's say, for instance, you get the Empress card, who is like about, Mother Earth and the mothering energy and nurturing and creativity. But let's say you had a messed up relationship with your mother and you don't know the actual meaning. You just see this woman possibly holding a baby or being pregnant, and all of a sudden you're just like, girl, something bad is about to happen in your life. You've got this female that's coming into your life and it's not going to be good, blah, 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 blah. You're not doing it from an objective starting point. You see what I mean? Everything that you're reading, if you're not using the meanings or at least starting off with some sort of foundation, it's purely based off of your experiences, which isn't wrong. It's not wrong. It's just, it's a different way of doing the tarot system. So I think to be more objective, even if you don't agree with what the meanings are, put your own meanings and then go from there. Because let's say you start doing a reading for somebody and you are just in the crappiest damn mood and a card pops up and you get triggered by it. How objective can you be if you're not starting off with a foundation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was important to me to learn them first. So I just dug in and I used little cheat sheets and I put them up. Once I put them up, I felt more comfortable because I had that like backup system, because it's hard to remember everything, especially as younger, but I did it more and more and more and more. I just kept doing it. And now my memory is much better. And I don't always just use the basic meaning, but I have that foundation, which was important for me.
I've been struggling so hard with tarot, so
Rachele, your mic is there's
yeah.
something going on there.
Let's see if. Sorry, you guys are getting seeing my palm reading. Is that any better? Does that sound any better?
I don't know what's going on with it. You sound like almost muffled or underwater.
Is that any better?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. I just muted myself and then unmuted it. So mic is going out.
It went back again.
Mm.
Did it?
That's okay. We've had a lot of technical difficulties. We're hitting about an hour and a half at this point. I think we have discussed quite a lot today and got to show off some of your decks, which I love, and I love the readings. But I think that we'll go for now if that's okay with you. But I want to stress this one more time. Even if you watch this on the replay, get a hold of us if you would like to be in a live, or if you have a topic you would like to be featured on the Witchy Roundtable. But for now, I think we're going to end the broadcast, and I'll say we'll talk soon, witches.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Lady Blind Wolf.
Thank you. Bye.